I'm officially on my off season, but I thought I'd give you a quick debrief of what happened in the race in Portugal, Cascais, and what went down in the whole grand scheme of things in the lead up to the race and the race itself. Because to be honest, it was pretty epic. Like, I was absolutely buzzing about it. Couldn't have asked for much better.
Gonna make the vlog.
Gonna make the vlog, mate.
That moment of fame.
Just off to meet Will again for a swim. Nice day. It wasn't meant to be like this, but hopefully it means that race day is not going to be as bad as they forecast either.
First few days were just spent acclimatising, getting used to Portugal again, acclimatising to the heat, doing a bit of training, settling in, getting over travel. Met up with Will Crudgington and managed to do a few sessions with him, which was great because it's always beneficial to have someone there to help you get through the sessions leading into the race, because I always find it so difficult to motivate myself. I wasn't feeling too bad in the week leading in, but a week or two prior I was actually pretty ill. I didn't say anything about it because I wasn't sure whether or not I'd get over it and what effect it would have, but some of the sessions that I was doing were not correlating to the kind of weeks leading into that I'd experienced before, so I was a little bit nervous about it, a little bit apprehensive, but the week of the race it seemed to have pretty much cleared, so I thought, gonna give it a crack, do my best, and like I said in my previous video, my whole race plan was based around data gathering and just being at the front of the race for as long as possible and just trying to do my best for as long as possible within the race, despite probably knowing that the marathon was going to be the hard part of the whole thing.
Yes, well, no.
You had a nice little cape, I had a nice little run.
Very different people.
No, it was good. It's how I remembered it, which is pretty rolling. Like it's not flat in the slightest. There's definitely ups and downs, but I think that's going to be good for the muscles because it will change what muscles you're using.
Is that not similar to Finland?
Very similar to Finland. Finland was far hillier than this, so this is more rolling. I think there's going to be more meters climbed in total, but it doesn't feel like you're climbing a massive mountain and then going back down. It's just constantly up or down, basically. Mm-hmm. And today there was a massive headwind, but I don't think it's going to be like that in the morning, on Saturday.
How did you you did it last year though? So is it not? Like, how did you find it when you did it last year?
Last year was tough. It was very hot, and I think I was just.
Last year was very hot.
Hopefully it's going to be different this year. Not quite as hot, but also I was just not as fit running wise because I'd had my crash in Dresden and then not that much running, or it was very painful to run, so yeah, hopefully this year will be a little bit different. This is a little insight into my travel eating. Chicken from Lidl, got little padron peppers, couscous, that's always good. This was the worst thing I think I've ever eaten.
It looks like, why would you think that would be good?
Well, I said cheeseburger, so I was just like, yeah, they'll be great. That was nice, that was a creme brulee. Never go without. Yogurt, always. That's potato salad. Not the best, but you know, fine. And hummus. Jam, always. Chocolate, always. Orange juice is a bit of a rogue one, but I wasn't feeling great, so, you know, Vitsy. And then milk, always.
This is cool.
This is cool.
Well, it looks like a big empty room at the moment, but apparently it's cool.
Train's done for the day now. Just going to go home and relax and then go out for food with them this evening.
Looks like you're drinking a bottle of medicine. Show me.
Health. I know what I have to add, something fun. James Mitchell just came and did a little bit of videoing for a fighting chance for Ironman, which is fun. Made the cut. So yeah, that'll be fun to post tomorrow. Or whenever. The rain just started again, I think.
I think Aaron said he pulled some strings for you.
Aaron, thank you for pulling some strings, so yeah, appreciate it. So this is just at the top of one of the climbs. It is stunning. Literally couldn't ask for much better than this, but yeah, no, it's really, really nice. It's going to be a tough climb. Not too tough, not like Marbella, but still pretty solid.
pro briefing done. Now just pottering around town, having some food, and then I'll rack my bike as soon as I can, I guess. It's a pool. This is my little go bag full of nutrition and race kit and stuff. Pretty much everything in there that I'll be using for my race nutrition. I'll have the 300 grams of this flow gel here, which I will then move to the front once this one's done, which is a litre of the 60 grams and 1,000 milligrams sodium stuff. In here's 750 worth of the 60 1000, and that's another 750 of the 60 1000. So I have 2.5 litres worth of fluid on the bike, plus the 300 grams of flow gel. And my plan is to pick up at any aid station I can, essentially.
This seems like straight up soft porn.
You can have enough Vaseline for an 8-hour day. It's such a long day out. I'm nervous.
You'll be fine.
Now, race morning, I was pretty up for it. Like, nothing untoward, like really kind of keen to get going, essentially. And it wasn't like a ridiculously early start, like some of them have been, 7:40, 7:50, I think it was, roughly around there. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's a long day ahead, so whilst the swim isn't the most important thing in the world, I really wanted to put my best foot forward in the swim, and therefore I guess that's where the nerves come in, because you want to make the front pack. But yeah, no, I think that all in all, whilst we were waiting around for quite a while, I managed to get the position I wanted to on the start line, and then also managed to put myself in the right place within the swim itself, like in the water, to get on the right feet. I managed to get on Jan Stratman's feet, who was behind Josh Amberger, and then we basically just swam together for the whole of the 3.8k, and I sat on. I was not going to be doing any work because I wasn't sure how I was then going to respond after that when I got onto the bike. However, when I actually got onto the bike, I was fine. I had a lot of power on tap. I was able to push exactly what I wanted to up the climbs, which managed to split up the race a little bit. I think I managed to get away from Josh Amberger, but took Jan Stratman with me, which was great because it meant that I had someone to work with. But then by the time we got to about 25k, I'd led the whole thing so far because I wanted to, it doesn't make a difference on the hills anyway. So I didn't mind leading up the hills and I could set my own pace, which was great. But then when we got onto the race circuit, we were met by Peter Himmerich and Thor Benedict Madsen, so both incredible athletes and cyclists. So I was like, okay, this is a good working group, and we had a good gap over then the second pack. So I was buzzing. I was amongst such a good group of athletes at this point, and I think that it was a case of I've made it. Like this was my whole race plan. Like as long as I keep on top of nutrition, it should be fine until at least the end of the bike, as long as there's no kind of mechanical errors. So yeah, no, I was really excited at this point, and it was just a case of like, yeah, keep on pushing, making the right decisions, being smart, holding that 12-15 meter gap, and then yeah, just like working from there, like taking my turns. I managed to even pull turns, which was great. They're really strong cyclists, so whether or not that was silly, I don't know, but I felt like I was in a good enough position and like kind of strength and fueling position to be able to do that as well. So yeah, took my turn on the front a few times and got onto the second lap where Thor then went away, decided not to go with him. I I could have done potentially, but that probably would have jeopardised the rest of my race. So I stayed with Jan and Peter Hemmerich, and then just kind of carried on there until about 150k maybe or so, where Jan put in a little bit of an effort and Peter dropped the gap, or dropped the wheel, and I then came around and we put then time into Peter, which was pretty insane. Like, I was going through a bit of a wavy patch at that time as well, so I wasn't sure how I was going to respond to that, because I was a little bit like, am I going to cramp, am I going to be okay? And it was the back end of the ride anyway, so I was just trying to be sensible. So anyway, Thor off in the distance, Jan and I were then second and third, and then Peter was fourth in between us and then the chase pack, which were about somewhere between 6 and 10 minutes behind. So yeah, we had quite a bit of time on everyone, and I wasn't feeling in a particularly bad spot at this position whilst we rolled back into town and back into T2. So we were about 1 minute 20, I think I was, behind Thor at the end of the bike, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, and got onto the run and felt insane, felt very good, tried to hold myself back as much as possible, however, probably didn't stick to my pace plan. I wanted to do about 4-minute Ks. I was about 3:45, 3:50 and to the far turn point, and then about, again 3:50 until the end of the first lap. So probably a little bit harder than I should have gone for sure, but it was an experience, and I tried to stick at the front of the race for as long as possible, like I said. So I was in third position until about halfway through the second lap, or maybe a quarter of the way through the second lap, which was sick. Like, it was so cool to be mixing it up with some of those guys, because again, they're some of the best in the world, and I just wanted to take that opportunity to do that because I don't get it very often, and it's just one of those learning experiences as well, especially as I got on to the last half / last 2/3 of the run, because my body started to shut down.
Day done, absolutely shattered. Just getting my bits and pieces and grabbing my... Is that mine? Yeah. And grabbing my bike from transition. I'm knackered. That was a hell of a day out.
So if I was to guess, it would probably be to do with nutrition, more so sodium intake than carbohydrates. I think my carbohydrate intake was pretty good. Precision spoke to me about that as well, and they said that it was pretty on point. Whether or not that is the case, I'll probably do some more testing over winter just to suss that out. If you have any ideas though, please leave comments below. For example, I was just completely wetting myself all of the second lap. So between 15 and probably 30k, I was just pissing myself, literally wetting myself. So obviously my body wasn't holding water very well. Whether
An Ironman in the wild.
this is sodium or overhydration or whatever it was, but when I was weeing it was still yellow, so it makes me think that my body just wasn't able to retain that water, not the fact that I was necessarily overhydrated. So anyway, such a sick race. I was so pleased and buzzing to be at the front of it for as long as I was. I really wasn't expecting it. Obviously I was trying to do it, but I didn't think it would come off quite as well as it did. The commentators were really complimentary of me and really spoke about me very well on the coverage. Apparently, I've not heard it myself, but loads of people have said that it was really good to have me up there and being spoken about. So yeah.
I'm an Ironman.
Thank you to everyone that's commented, everyone that's messaged me, and it's just so impressive. Well, it's so sick to have gotten so many comments and messages. So just really pleased to have put in a good performance, even though it wasn't a good result at the end of the day. I don't think it's a million miles away from being a decent result if I can just fix a few things, and that'll be the key over the winter period and going into next season, where I'm going to look to do a few more of them and mix in a few 70.3s in there as well. So that's the end of my season. Hope you enjoyed watching the process, watching the kind of journey, and hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment below of what you think I could do to improve from next season, and thank you.